I was on a long drive, headed to a family reunion. It was getting late, and I was too tired to keep driving. I spotted a small motel on the side of the road. The sign was old and flickering, but it looked clean enough. I pulled into the parking lot and walked into the office. The clerk was an older man, friendly enough. I paid for a room and got my key. Room 12, down at the end of the row. As I walked to my room, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I told myself it was just my imagination. After all, it had been a long day. The room was simple but clean. A bed, a nightstand, a small TV. I locked the door behind me, double-checking the deadbolt. The unease I felt earlier was still there, but I was too tired to care. I unpacked a few things, took a quick shower, and got ready for bed. The sound of the crickets outside was oddly soothing, and for a moment, I felt relaxed. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. The room was dark, except for a sliver of light coming in from the street lamp outside. Just as I was about to drift off, I heard it. A soft, scratching sound, like nails on wood. I sat up, listening intently. It was coming from the window. My heart started to race. I got out of bed and walked slowly to the window. The scratching continued, more insistent now. I pulled back the curtain, but there was nothing there, just the darkness and the faint outline of the trees. I checked the window latch, making sure it was locked. It was. I told myself it was probably just a tree branch and went back to bed. I lay back down, my heart still pounding. The room was quiet again, but the sense of unease was stronger. Just as I was about to fall asleep, I heard it again. The scratching was louder now, more frantic. It wasn't coming from the window this time. It was coming from the door. I got out of bed again, grabbing the lamp from the nightstand as a makeshift weapon. I walked to the door, my hands shaking as I reached for the knob. I peeked through the peephole and saw a distorted figure standing outside. It was tall and thin, its features twisted and unnatural. My blood ran cold. I backed away from the door, my mind racing. Should I call for help? Run? The scratching continued, more insistent. I grabbed my phone and dialed the number for the motel office. The line rang and rang, but no one answered. I was on my own. Then I heard it, a faint whisper coming from under the door. "Let me in," it said. The voice was cold, emotionless. I felt a chill run down my spine. I stood in the middle of the room, clutching the lamp tightly. The scratching stopped, but the whispering continued. "Let me in." I decided to confront the figure. I had to know what it was. I moved towards the door, my heart pounding in my chest. I opened the door slowly, expecting to see the figure, but there was nothing. The hallway was empty, just the flickering light from the street lamp outside. I stepped into the hallway, looking around. There was no sign of anyone, just the rain and the darkness. I closed the door and locked it again, my mind racing. I sat on the edge of the bed, still holding the lamp. The whispering had stopped, and the room was quiet again. But I knew I wouldn't be getting any sleep that night. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and beware of the night.